Hey guys, just wanted to give you a quick video on the way I like to wrap my hands. Hopefully it helps a few guys out. Some guys saying they've been having some problems with their hands and been hurting after training or during training. So hopefully this will put a few people on the right track on how to manage their hands properly. So I start with my thumb going through the loop here, and I go straight across the back of the hand. A lot of time you'll notice there's a bit of a seam or whatever. I don't worry about it too much, it doesn't matter. So I go across the back of the hand 3 times. So 1, 2, 3, and then underneath the thumb, so across the wrist. 1, 2, 3, and then I'll come back up and one more time in between the thumb and index finger. So from here, underneath the thumb, up around the hand, in between the thumb and index. From there, I come back underneath the thumb. So once again from there, around the wrists, up in between the thumb and index, underneath the thumb. From there, in between my 2 fingers. And I go around my first finger. So I've completely gone around it, back to underneath the thumb again. So we're going to do this with each of our fingers. So underneath the thumb to the next finger. Completely wrap my second finger. Back underneath the thumb again. You notice your wrap will twist up a little bit. But just straighten it out and keep going. So back to underneath the thumb, third finger. Once I get to here, I don't generally worry about doing my pinky. You can if you want, but because I don't hit with my pinky knuckle, and you shouldn't, you should be trying to hit with these 2, so these are the ones that you want to bind properly. The pinky, really, I don't worry about it at all. I'd rather use that extra bit of support on my wrist and hand rather than worry about something that never gets hit. So from there, so we'll start back here. From my third finger, I come underneath my thumb and go around my hand once. Now I only ever do once around my hand from here on. I never go twice around my hand. The reason for that is if I go more than once around my hand, as the training goes on, this will start to slip over the front and get loose. So I only ever go once around my hand, and then I go twice under my wrist. 1, 2, back up, once between my thumb and index, once around my hand, 2 under my wrist. And again, once more. And generally, it usually works out that I'll finish off with only going around my wrist once or twice, but I try not to go around my wrist 5, 6 times over and over and over, because what I find tends to happen is as training goes on, this starts to slip, and I get that happening and my wrist has no support. So I try and make it that I only do 1 or 2 wraps around before I strap it off and finish it off with the Velcro. So sometimes that might mean I go 2 there, 1 there, 1 there. Sorry, a bit fast. I might go 2 there, 1 around the hand, 1 around the wrist, 1 around the hand, and I might finish off like that, just so I don't get that slip happening. That for me, I've never had a problem with that. Well, you always get the wear and tear through if you're throwing big punches, but that's done me well. Now, if you're someone who likes to throw big punches, you might get a second wrap. If you're someone who hits a heavy bag really hard and you hit too hard for your own good and have weak wrists, which there's a lot of guys out there that do that, I sometimes, especially if I am starting to get some sore wrists, I'll take the second wrap and I'll go around, build it up around my wrist, especially underneath my thumb, to stop this from happening, the sideways action. So I'll build it up through there using that same principle of once over the hand, twice under the thumb, once over the hand, twice on the wrist. I'll do that over and over until my wrap's done. It looks, you get a big solid one, this looks like a cast at the end, but it'll save you in the long run. So yeah, hopefully that helps, guys, and see you training.